Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and February is American Heart Month. So this month's theme is a healthy start to a healthy heart. Let's do this. I'm Dani Lebovitz, a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and fitness enthusiast who loves to eat. Welcome to Dani's Delicious Dish, where we get serious about food, fitness, and living better. Food brings people together, it nourishes our bodies, and influences how we learn, grow, and heal. We're going to take you from the classroom, to the gym, to the market, to the kitchen. The American Heart Association recommends 30 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity 5 days a week, totaling about 150 minutes. Today we're here with Mr. Scott Peavy, the fitness program director at the Fitness Center, and he's also a National Academy of Sports Medicine Performance Enhancement Specialist. Scott, what are you going to teach us today?
Hey Dani, what I want to talk about today is conditioning training, or circuit training, excuse me. I know that this is kind of an old practice philosophy-wise for some people, but the value in it is really high. Also with this type of training, you can start at any fitness level and any fitness goal, whether it be to lose weight, just to get more fit, to actually increase performance. So with that, circuit training also works on the cardiovascular aspect of resistance training. So you stay in an aerobic state during your conditioning periods, but you don't have to do steady state cardio like on a treadmill or on the elliptical, so you get to do a wide variety of movements. And also too, with the ability to have a variety of movements, you decrease boredom in your workouts. The movements we're going to do today, I'm just going to give you 5 of them. They're body weight movements, they're easy to do. You should be able to do these anywhere. I want to show you an easy version, and I'll show you 2 directions so that you can see some of the teaching cues. And we'll also be doing an advanced version in the back with Miss Brenda. But first off, I want to show you a reverse lunge. And I know this seems like a simple movement, but typically when you're setting up circuit training circuits, you want to go for roughly about 30 seconds up to around 45 seconds with about 15 seconds rest. And you would repeat the entire series of exercises about 2 to 3 times, even up to 5 times at the most, based on your fitness level. Starting off with the reverse lunge, and the reason I pick a reverse lunge is a lot of people tend to have bad form when they do a forward lunge, and a reverse lunge, they tend to have really good form. So that's the reason I encourage you to start off with a reverse lunge. You're going to be doing this alternating, meaning you're going to go one leg and then the other and repeat as you continue the movement. If Miss Dani will go ahead and start off with the lunge movement. When she steps back, she has a nice straight heel. Everything's facing up. Her hips are squared. Her shoulders are backing down. When she drops down into her lunge, her knee tracks over her toes. It does not wobble left or right, and that foot stays up nice and tall in the back. The heel is pointing towards the ceiling. Her hips are under her, and she's in a nice position. She'll come up, bring that leg forward, and then step into the next one. Nice. Miss Merida. All right, it's going to do it from the side. When you're stepping back, you're dropping that knee to the ground. You're not letting the knee come forward. Keep that knee over that toe as you step back up. Use the back leg and the front leg to pull you back up into a standing position. Stepping back again. Always make sure that the hips are under the body so that you're not leaning forward at the chest and you keep a good posture. Repeating this movement, you can pick up the speed as you get to where you're more comfortable with it, which will obviously increase heart rate and increase the exercise's intensity. Now, a level 2 version of this isn't necessarily a front to back motion like the reverse lunge is. This is called a skater lunge. This is much more athletic, much more dynamic, and it's going to focus on a different plane of motion, which is our left to right. It's going to be called a skater lunge. And Miss Brenda's going to show you. You're going to swing that leg around, touch, step across, and swing it around. Now, she can pick up the speed with this and make it much more challenging. So that way she gets the biggest bang for her buck, increasing heart rate and calorie burn throughout the 30 seconds of the movement. Next, I want to show you a core movement, and this is kind of a spin on an oldie. Most people think of the plank as being a really good exercise, and it is. But today I want to kind of show you a few variations that'll make it that much more beneficial and a lot tougher. First off, Dani and Miss Marita here are going to show you the active plank. Now with an active plank, I want you to think about taking the hands and pushing them away from one another. And as we're doing this, we're drawing our shoulder blades down and back. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to squeeze my glutes, squeeze my quads into a position to where they're very contracted. And then I'm going to think about driving my elbows down towards my toes, almost like I'm trying to force them and pull them down. And at that point, you should feel a lot of work going on. Make sure that you keep good posture, keep the hips nice and high, and really focus on driving those elbows down. This is a really good way to increase the intensity of a standard plank. Back here, Miss Brenda is going to be doing a next level plank. This is called a pillar plank. You'll take a wide stance. She needs to keep her hips just a little bit lower, and then she's going to reach forward. When she's reaching forward, she's pushing that shoulder blade down into the back of her spine and reaching forward, keeping the hips very quiet and very still. This is a really intense move, and I would save it for those who have been doing planks for quite a while. The next exercise I want to show you is a biomotor movement, and a biomotor can be anything that is repetitive and gets the heart rate up. Today I'm going to do an easy one, just the old school jumping jack, and I know it seems like not a big deal, but right now I'm just trying to keep the heart rate up. I'm trying to keep you working, and I'm not really concerned on how hard it is. I just want to keep that heart rate elevated. Dani's going to show us the regular old jumping jack, and our other two ladies are going to be showing us an advanced version of what I call a low jack. You're going to be in a prone position like you're doing a push-up, except that the feet are doing a jumping jack motion. So ladies, if you don't mind. No real form on this one. Just make sure that you're getting good full wide arm swings on the jumping jack. Now this one, an easier version is staying in this position. And even though you're in a plank, you're working the core, you're working the legs, you're working the hip flexors, you're moving laterally, hitting a lot of muscles you normally wouldn't hit in a normal workout routine. A harder version is if they were to go into a half press where they're actually halfway down into a push-up and continue that motion. The next exercise is going to be an upper body movement, another oldie but a goodie, the push-up. The thing about a push-up I see a lot is just really poor form. When you're doing your push-up, don't have your hands too far or too close. Make them at a comfortable position to where the elbows will tuck down at about a 45-degree angle. Make sure that you're getting a good full range of motion as you push up. Control it on the way down before you drive back to the top. Dani's going to be doing a standard push-up as well as Miss Rita, and Miss Brenda is going to be doing a very intense version called the Spider-Man push-up. When you do your press, your chest and hips should both go down together at the same time. The hips should stay in a high position, not overly high to where you're pushing the hips up, but to where they're even with the head and heel. The Spider-Man push-up, she's switching legs, which one is going to cause a lot of work from side to side on her hips and her core, and it also increases the intensity of that push-up motion. And our final exercise is going to be probably one of the better exercises. It's an active recovery movement. This is a chance for your body to recover a little bit while staying busy during the circuit, so that way you're not really taking a break, but you're actually getting a chance to kind of catch back up and still do a movement that's beneficial for you. So when you come up with a movement like this, don't think hard, think smart. Something that incorporates balance, something that will incorporate flexibility, or any of those type of components of fitness. The ladies are going to be doing what's called a single leg reach. This is a really great exercise, one for balance, which is something that people don't focus on as much as they should. Balance or poor balance equates to injury, so you want to make sure that you incorporate this type of movement into your routine. A single leg reach is essentially a small single leg squat where the member will reach out, touch, come back up to a standing position, reach laterally, touch, and then come back, and then reach behind them and come back up. They're not putting a whole lot of weight on their foot as they go down. It's just a light tap. About 99% of the work is coming from that leg that's in contact with the ground. You would just do this on one side for your first circuit, switch to the other leg on the next circuit. To increase the intensity of this, you would just increase the number of taps. Where they're only doing 3, one to the front, one to the side, and one to the back, you can make it where there were 5 or even 7, where they're reaching across the body, going laterally or out in an angle, turning the hips open as you reach back, and reaching around behind the body.
Improve your heart health today and get your body moving. I'm Dani the dietitian. Till next time, live deliciously.